Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Very Biased Opinions for the FA Cup semi-finals. It is Ian and Tom with you, as always. And let's just jump straight into this with the first semi-final, Leicester City versus Southampton.
Huge game for both of these clubs. A fantastic opportunity for either of them to make the FA Cup final. Obviously, these are already played at Wembley. So if there were fans, it'd be a fantastic day out for them. Instead, both clubs are now annoyed because they're going to have to travel to London to play a football match.
I'm sure then.
I really like the idea of Southampton in this. They have so little to play for in the league. I think Hasenhüttl is just going to have a hard time getting them to keep their insane level of pressing up in a league where they're like 7 points clear of the bottom. But they were really impressive against Bournemouth. They kind of weathered an early storm in that game where it really did look like Bournemouth could get something out of the game. And which annoyed me because I don't think Jonathan Woodgate's a very good manager. So when they were playing well, I was getting really annoyed by it. But Southampton were, credit to him, really good, value for money. Nathan Redmond looked fantastic. Get his shooting boots on for once. One of his finishes into like the top left corner or whatever, curling shot was just brilliant. It's a really good thing. And Leicester City beat Man United, and the less said about that, the better. I think there was some blackout on national television. I think the moon hit the earth. I think there were two brothers fighting off a cat, an alien Mexican armada at one point. I don't know. It was all a thing, Ian.
It was a thing. But Leicester were really good in that game, and it probably isn't the case, but it looked like it was a situation where Brendan Rodgers took the competition a bit more seriously than Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, which I doubt that is the case. But Leicester came out quite comfortable, 3-1 winners. They had a lot more energy and desire than Man United, or it looked like that was the case anyway. And they're very similar sides, and I do see them I see Southampton as almost being like a slightly less good version of Leicester City in many ways. They both like to play a very high-tempo pressing game, but I just think Leicester have got a little bit more quality about them. They've got two strikers. One of them, obviously, Jamie Vardy's not in great form, but he is still amazing. And they got Iheanacho, who is in great form and showing some great touch in his goal-scoring ability as well. Tielemans pulling the strings has been fantastic as of late as well, but also having Soyuncu back in their back line has made them a lot more solid too. And I think that Leicester will just be too good for this one. And it's a big one for Rodgers, because if he can get a major honour, he is taking steps towards people like thinking him as an elite manager. I know he was amazing at Celtic, but there's still question marks over him in the English game, or how good is he? And if he can win an FA Cup, I think people will really start to take him seriously, like as a top level manager. Same could be said for Hasenhüttl, and it will bode well for him if he wins it with Southampton. It will definitely put him on people's radar for him getting a bigger job. But I do think Leicester City will win it. I think it will be a 2-1 Leicester win.
I'm going completely rogue here. I think Southampton are going to blitzkrieg the Foxes. I think it's going to be 3-1 Southampton. I think Redmond is going to come up big, and we all know how much fun I've made of him for the last year or two. But I don't know. I just feel it. I really feel it. 3-1 to the Saints.
Well, Southampton can be that side, can't they? They can be, if they do get ahead up a steam, they're a very difficult side to contain. And they just haven't played like that as of late, but we know that's capable from what we've seen in the first half of the season.
Ian, before we move on, we're going to have to firstly highlight our Patreon subscribers. And because we have a new one, even though he has not bought the tier where he gets a shout out, all week we're giving him a shout out. So thank you to Tangerine Matt for joining us, or Lombardi. Thank you to Matthew Bowden. Thank you to Pessimistic Brother Allen. Thank you to Grandstand Betters, and thank you to PJ Simpson. Your support means the world to us. It helps this channel keep going. Thank you. If you guys are interested in joining on Patreon, please have a look below. Every little helps. Our lowest membership is £3 a month. It's fantastic, and we love you all dearly. On top of that, visit Grandstand Betters. They're good at what they do, and on a Friday or Saturday night, we do a video with them, which is pretty cool. And without further ado, gilding the lily, or just random words coming out of my mouth, it's time, the big one, because Chelsea host Manchester City.
I really can't wait for this game. I cannot wait for it. I don't think Chelsea haven't played Man City yet, and I don't think they're going to play them in the league before this, or if they even have to play them in the league yet. I haven't checked. So we haven't seen Thomas Tuchel come up against Pep in this one, and what we've seen, it should be a pretty fascinating encounter. Tuchel has turned this Chelsea side very machine-like of what we've seen, and they've like literally almost look odds on to get that Champions League spot. They look pretty well placed in the Champions League, and this will certainly be another trophy that he will be eyeing up as being a remarkable start to life in England for Thomas Tuchel. But they are coming up against the or singing or dancing or conquering Manchester City side.
Yeah, City have been absolutely just ridiculous this season. Their ability to keep winning games at a striker, and I talk about this in our most recent Premier League videos and stuff, but like Aguero's back, Sterling's getting back on form, Gundogan I think is their top scorer from centre midfield. Phil Foden is I think their second highest scorer and one of their highest assisters. He's just in another planet right now. Kevin De Bruyne is, inarguably one of the best players on earth. Defensively, they look incredible. John Stones and Diaz at the back have just been immense. We know they've got a great goalkeeper. We know they've got players like Kyle Walker that they can just rotate in and out. Is he a center back? Is he a right back? Doesn't matter. He's rapid and quite good at his game. And, City are a juggernaut. But Chelsea are just an embarrassment of talented players. Like, there's at least 2 players for every one position in that club, isn't there?
Absolutely right, yeah. And it starts right from the back with, Mendy being a really, really solid goalkeeper. And then you've got the 2 centre-backs like in Rudiger. I mean, Thiago Silva's not even playing and they're still being amazingly at the back without him. And then you've seen a return to form for Rudiger and Kurt Zouma, and both of them are playing in kind of a beast mode, to use a Rio Ferdinand talking about Chris Smalling kind of analogy there. And Tuchel has finally found a tune out of Kante. I don't know why some people have gone against him and he's rarely been used, but it looks like he's back in favour, and what a phenomenal player he is. But just going forward as well, you almost don't need to concentrate on attacking tactics for Chelsea. You almost just set them up well defensively and just let those guys figure it out. Because they've got such variety in the way they attack as well, led really through Mason Mount. I mean, he's just been exceptional all season, but the difference of players they have up front, with the way Wood Werner can drift out wide and use his pace, the way you've got target man in Giroud or in Abrahams, the way you've got very skillful players like Ziyech, like Pulisic, and like Havertz. You've got such quality talent, and that on top of that with fullbacks that want to bomb on as well. I really fancy Chelsea in this one, and I think this is going to be where City's quadruple falls down in ruins. I don't know. I'll let you predict first, but I'm leaning towards Chelsea.
I can't believe you've done this. You've talked me out of supporting City. You reminded me of that ridiculous 18 months where all I did was talk about how great Chelsea were attacking, and they're so good. And I am not willing to bet against Mason Mount, Tammy Abraham, Olivier Giroud, Timo Werner, and Christian Pulisic, who we all know Captain America is one of my favorite players. I'm going to go with a Chelsea 3-1 win. I'm motivated all of a sudden. I'm excited. No,
it's not going to be that good. It's not going to be that exciting.
1-0?
1-0 Chelsea. This is going to be 1-0 to Chelsea. They're going to get a goal somewhere in the first half or the start of the second half, and it's going to be your classic City 80% possession, but can't break that Chelsea wall of players down. And it's one of those ones, again, it just shows you how ridiculous the notion of anyone winning a quadruple is, because you only have to have one bad game in a knockout competition and it all falls down beside you. But I'm going for Chelsea, which is nuts that we're both going for Chelsea over City, but 1-0 to the Blues.
It's your enthusiasm, your reminder to me of how many good young players I love in the Chelsea team. And, if City are going to stumble, it's in this game, not in the final in all probability, because they win finals every time.
And I didn't even mention Dennis Wise.
Good point. And what about Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank?
And Ruud Gullit.
Anyway, enough absolute nonsense from us. Thank you all for watching. Please like, please comment, please subscribe. Stick with us for all these games. It is coming to the business end of the season, and we are excited to be watching it and covering it with you. Put all your comments below. Visit Grandstand Betters. Check out our Patreon, and we will see you later.